Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all right and everyone's having a wonderful day. I am freezing today. It's so cold. I'm meant to be living in a hot country. That's what I'm meant to do. That's my birthright. I know it is, because I'm always freezing under 30 degrees. It's got to be so hot. I'm not putting the heating on all day and every day and all night and every night. No way. But yeah, it's cold today and I need some sun. But anyway, that's another story. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on here today and talk about my story in a nutshell. And I kind of wanted to put it out there first before I put, I suppose, like loads more videos before I get to my story. I kind of wanted you guys to sort of know who I am, where I've come from, and yeah, a bit of a backstory really. Firstly, sorry, before I move on, if you can hear like cars going past all the time, I really am sorry. I just wanted to move away from my office and just sort of sit in my living room, which is a bit more cozier, and the cars are just constantly going past, so it's a bit annoying. I'm really sorry if you can hear that. Anyway, so my story. Where do I start? I had a bit of a shitty past, really. I wouldn't say it was my parents or anything like that. It was nothing like that, but I just kind of chose the wrong path. It all started with choosing the wrong path and really bad anxiety. Really bad anxiety, bad depression, bad mental health, and I didn't feel great at all. This is quite a raw part of my story, I suppose. So when I didn't feel confident in myself and I didn't feel great and so much anxiety and stuff like that, I mean, it is weird because when I was younger, like as a kid and then like primary school age, I suppose, I was confident, as confident as I am now, and it's weird really, because I used to do pantomimes. I was confident. I used to get up and sing and dance. Like anytime that we'd go on holiday, I'd be the one on the karaoke. I would stand on the tables and dance to all the old men and sing to the, that sounds weird. As a kid, just sing to them all, and all the old Cockney rhymes and stuff like that. And that's the kind of kid I was, and I thought that's how I was going to grow up. But something changed, which I'm still working on. Something changed along my teenage years, and I went in myself, and anxiety and depression. I didn't want to go out of my house. I was really introverted and very anxious. And then it got to the point where I started drinking, and I'd drink every day just to feel happy, and then drink to be confident, drink if I would, something successful happened, I would drink. If I was sad, I would drink. It just was, it was mental, but it was just like snowballing out of control. I would hide bottles of drink in my cupboards, and hide empty bottles of drink in my cupboards so that no one knew what I was doing or what I was up to or whatever. And I kept it a secret for so long. I didn't know how to get help back then, I just didn't have a clue. And I didn't want to go on medication either, because that's something I didn't believe in. I didn't want to sort of be numb from the pain or numb from any emotion. I just didn't, it just didn't resonate with me. I didn't want to go on medication. I'm not saying anybody else that is on medication, they shouldn't be doing it. This is a personal preference for me. So being that way, I started attracting even worse stuff into my life. I attracted the wrong people in my life. I attracted the wrong relationships in my life. I attracted bad jobs in my life. I attracted everything wrong, but back then I had no idea what law of attraction was. I didn't know. I was in a physical abusive relationship for 10 years, and I used to think to myself, why the hell is this happening to me? Why am I attracting so much bad shit into my life? Why me all the time? And it went on for quite a while, and you probably think to yourself, why why has she put up with this for 10 years? And I said the same thing now looking back, like, why the hell did you put up with this shit for 10 years? And that's because I didn't feel accepting. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel valued. I felt worthless. And, you know, some people say, well, why didn't you just leave? But it's weird, and I think some people can relate. I didn't want to leave because I didn't think anybody else would want me outside of that relationship. I felt that worthless, and I didn't love myself, and I didn't have any boundaries, and it was familiar to me. Staying in that wrong, toxic relationship, it felt familiar. It was my safety net. I was scared of the unknown, of leaving him. And this went on for years, and it didn't hit me every day or every single day, but for 10 years of on and off, you know, sometimes we were good, most of the time we were bad, you know, and it just went on and on. It was a very strange relationship, and I would never see any harm done to him now. He acted at the level of consciousness he was at that time, and I forgive him for that, and that's fine, you know. I'll come on to that in a bit of why I forgive him. But it got to the point where I had suicidal thoughts all the time, and I was drinking excessively because I didn't know how to cope with anything. I just couldn't cope with my feelings. I had no idea, and I didn't want to talk to my parents, obviously, at the time, because I felt ashamed, so ashamed. And it was just this vicious circle over and over and over again, and I just felt like I couldn't get out of it. And then it got to a point, the last time he ever touched me, hit me, was when he strangled me, and he'd smashed the kitchen up, and he'd strangled me. And we're on the floor, and I just looked up at him, and I just thought to myself, take me, just take me. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be on this planet. I've had enough. I've had enough. I can't take any more. I just snapped, and that is an awful thing to say. A young girl back in her 20s, for her life to be taken, and she didn't want to live anymore. And you know, she didn't know what she knows now. And I'm so glad what I know now. I really, really am, of how much life has taught me in the last sort of 5 years. But back then, she didn't have a clue, and she just didn't want to be around. And it's just sad to see. So there, in the end, I ended up leaving him, and I felt really good because, you know, I had the courage to leave and stuff like that, but I still felt worthless. I still had trust issues. I still hated men back then. I still was in a bad way. I was still buying a bottle of wine every day. Anyway, and then I fell into another relationship. Obviously I did, because the same sort of relationship. He never hit me in this one, but it was mental abuse. And at first we got on really well, and you know, we did, and in the end we just didn't align with each other, and it became toxic and mental abuse, and that wasn't good. But I attracted that again because that's how I felt inside. I attracted that. I mean, I'm cutting a lot of parts out of this at the moment because I just don't feel ready to talk about this yet. But in a nutshell, you know, I got into alcohol abuse massively, and I got into drugs, and I was on coke quite a lot, and you know, I felt ashamed of it, but I also, it was taking me out of a black hole. It was taking me out of a dark hole at the time, and it was a short-term gratification, and I felt happy, but then I felt shit afterwards again, so I'd go back on it again. It was a vicious circle. I wasn't doing coke every day like I was alcohol, but it was still in my life, and I was still abusing my body, abusing my mind. And I didn't think there was a way out, and I was drinking all the time, constantly hating on myself. My mental health was going downhill, and I just I couldn't see any way out, and I was people pleasing all the way through my life back then, and trying to help myself with alcohol and drugs and going out and having blackouts. Couldn't remember what I was doing the next day, what I'd done the next day. I couldn't remember. And I'd have people tell me stories which was like so cringe, people telling me, do you remember starting on this girl? Do you remember having a go at this taxi driver. Do you remember trying to start a fight and stuff like that? And I was like, what the hell? And all my family saw me get so pissed up, because obviously I had so much anger inside me. And I've come to the conclusion that the reason why I acted so messed up when I drank too much is because it was a cry for help, but I didn't know that back then, and nobody else knew that. Everyone just thought I was a pisshead and just couldn't handle my drink. But well, I couldn't handle my drink. I'm literally tiny. But it ran deeper than that. It ran so deep. There was obviously underlying issues there. But yeah, I couldn't cope, and I just, when enough's enough, and there's something inside you that just shifts, and you just think, I can't handle this anymore. I've taken years and years and years and years of mental abuse, physical abuse, and it really just does degrade you and belittles you, and you just feel you become so little, and not even realising that there's a big bad world out there, a big wide world out there that you can go and conquer. You just feel like you're in this little bubble, and that's it, and that's your life. And I'd had enough at this point. I had no self-respect in the end. I had no self-respect. I'd go out, any guy that would show me attention, I would just give him attention back. It got worse, really, really worse. My exes were cheating on me. It was just a horrible, horrible time back then, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like I said, I had suicidal thoughts and stuff like that quite a few times, and I never went through with it. Well, obviously I'm here, but I never even tried it. But the thoughts were there, and that's bad enough. And then in the end, there was this time that I went on holiday actually with a group of friends, and I wasn't myself. I was acting up, and we came back from the holiday, and this must have been about 5 years ago, I think. I can't always remember the dates and stuff like that, but it was about 5 years ago, and I couldn't cope anymore, and so I drove to Asda car park. I went to the car park, and I was just about to go and get another bottle of wine and drown my sorrows, blah, 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 blah. And before I went in, well, actually I didn't even go in the end, but before I went in, I grabbed the steering wheel, and I just said out loud, my God, can somebody help me? Can something help me? I can't cope with this anymore. I need help. And this was the first time I'd ever said out loud to nobody, which was what I thought I thought there was nobody there, you know what I mean? And something shifted, something pulled me, and I can't explain the feeling, but it's like something answered my prayer. And before, I used to call myself an atheist. I never believed in God. I never said that. I never believed in anything. I didn't believe in anything, you know what I mean? But that moment, I'll never forget that moment. It was just something, just thought, it's so hard to explain, but something shifted. Something magical happened and shifted. And a week later, I obviously went on to my normal life, and then I found this Facebook ad on Facebook, and it was an ad for network marketing, and it was Forever Living. And yeah, I mean, it was network marketing. That's not what I was trying to talk about, but it's the training that they gave me. So when they give you introduction pack, there was like a lot of things that you had to do for the training. But one thing that helped me, and what stuck in my mind, was that this documentary called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, or Byron, I don't know how to pronounce it. And The Secret, it changed my life. And that's in a weird way, when I called out for help, whoever I was talking to heard my prayers, and it put that advert in my eye line. I was meant to have found that, it was synchronicity. It was, I attracted that. I asked for help, and the universe put it in my fruition to, you know, to watch The Secret. Anyway, so as soon as I watched The Secret, I jumped out of bed when I was watching it. I was just like, wow. I knew there was something in the world, but I didn't know what. I knew something was really powerful, but I didn't know what. And that's the moment my life started to change. I started delving more into law of attraction, more into law of vibration, self-development, and I've never looked back. And my life has become so much better. Obviously, starting, you know, delving into all this 5 years ago, you can't just learn it all in one night. It's about the journey, it's the process, and it's baby steps, getting you to where I am, or getting me to where I am now. It's because there's so much I want to say, and it's just all trying to come out at once. I didn't do network marketing in the end. I really hated that, if I'm honest. But what I do thank is the fact that it brought me to law of attraction. It brought me to, there is something else out there. There is something else that's so magical and powerful. And it's all about training your mind and your mindset. And once you start to accept that and start to delve into that, your life will never be the same again. I now attract the right things in my life. I now attract the right people in my life. I now attract the right relationships in my life. I have boundaries now. I have self-worth. I feel worthy now. It's truly incredible how this has changed my life. You know, I still, you know, I didn't drink every day anymore. I kind of sort of cured myself in that way. I still drink now and again, not like I did, because I'm starting to work on the root of things, you know, getting to the root of issues and working on that head on, face on. And the moment you work on that is when your life changes. And it's like climbing up a mountain, and you can see the light at the top, and it's just getting better and better, and you're going up and up and up. You're never going back down again. And all these little black clouds are just dissolving and disappearing, but it's baby steps. Like at the moment, I'm not teetotal, but for the first time ever, I've done the whole of November without a drop of alcohol. And I needed to be ready to do that. And I do feel ready to do that now. I feel incredible. I have tried to stop now and again, but you can't just go cold turkey like that. You've got to change your mindset. And now that I've worked on myself and know that drinking alcohol every day is a low vibration, it's a depressant, and it made me feel even worse. But alcohol abuse is another story. I will do another video on that. But yeah, obviously I don't do drugs anymore, but I'm a complete different person now. And I've attracted everything that I want now in my life, and I'm still going to work on myself. It's a journey that will never ever stop learning. You never stop learning, you never stop growing. But I'm loving the journey that I'm on, and I just want to help as many people as I can. Like, we're in 2020 now, and this has been the best year of my life. So obviously I've been working on myself for the last 5 years, reading so many books, watching so many incredible people, Bob Proctor and Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, Emma Mumford, Ella Ringrose, all these people. There is just so many, Leo Alexandra, and all the podcasts, and truly incredible. And it's my passion. It is my absolute passion. It's all I talk about. It's all I have in my daily practice, and that is what has brought me to who I am today and how I've changed my life around. So yeah, this year, it was like December, I was chatting to my mum, and we kind of said, like, why don't I move near my mum? Because I've not lived near my mum for years and years and years. We've always lived in like separate places, in separate towns or cities for quite a while, ever since I was like 18, I think. And it was only December just gone, and we just discussed, why don't I move near her and, you know, start a new life and a fresh start. And I thought, yeah, okay, I felt scared because I didn't know, it was the unknown, and I was, you know, my safety net was where I was at the time. But I thought, no, something inside me was pulling me towards her, pulling me towards knowing that I had to heal even deeper. I had to heal all my past traumas, heal all the bad stuff that happened, all the negativity, all the mental abuse needed to be healing. I couldn't just keep covering it over anymore. So something was telling me that to move to where I am now is where my healing process begins. And I moved in February, just before lockdown, and the healing process started, and it was amazing. I knew that's what I had to be done. And then in May I joined a course, which is just the best course that I ever went on. It changed my life. It's another level what I'm on now. Well, I finished that course, but it was that great. I'm on the second course that I'm doing now, and yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I've got 3 weeks left of the second course, and they start a new one in January, and I've never been as happy as I am now. She wants so much attention. Get down. I know that I love myself now. I like myself. I have so much aspirations of what I want to do, where I want to be, how I want to live my life, who I want around me. I feel excited to live again. I feel excited to jump out of bed and not waste a minute of my day, a minute of my time on anything that doesn't serve me. I have boundaries now. I'm deserving of self-love. I'm deserving of worthiness. I know I am, and so is everybody else. It's our birthright. So this course is truly helped me of who I've become today, everything that I've attracted. You know, yes, I've been working on myself for the last 5 years, but this year is another level. This year is the icing on the cake, and what's really pinpointed and gone deeper, and I'll be forever grateful for it. And I just want to help as many people as I can now, because we're all meant to be feeling as good as I feel. What is she up to? But yeah, that was my story in a nutshell, and it's just going to get better and better and better. We all have a story, don't we? And I don't always like talking about my story and saying the negative things that happened to me and all the bad things that happened to me, but you've got to kind of say that. You've got to sort of say your story to where you've come from, to who you are today, because a lot of people can relate to that. You know, it was mental, like doing coke all the time and drinking all the time, to absolutely doing nothing now, you know, and just high on life, not short-term gratifications anymore. You've got to sacrifice short-term gratifications to have a long-term, amazing, magical life. And I would rather do that. So investing in myself and self-developing is truly what changes people's life. It's never going to happen overnight, but it does happen. But all the right people will come into your life. You know, get rid of all the people that don't serve you, or things that don't serve you, and you'll attract the right opportunities into your life, and the right people around you. And you want to be around people that lift you up. I've met so many amazing friends now that are on my wavelength, and it's incredible. And God, looking back, like 5, 6, 10, 15 years ago, I didn't think there was a way out, and there is a way out. It took me long enough to find it, but there is a way out. And you don't need medication. It's all about training your mindset, and you just have to bear with it. It's all a journey, but the whole point of it is the process of the journey. Don't just think, I want to be healthy and, you know, free from the prison of my mind right now. It's, you know, the natural destination, and skipping all the journey. You're learning so many things along that journey, along the way, along that process to get to that destination. And that's the beauty of it. Learning along the way, learning that journey. You know, be present, enjoy the journey, because that's where you're going to get all your little life lessons and all your synchronicities. And, you know, be present in the moment. Don't ever keep thinking about in the future or the past, because that's anxiety and that's depression. You want to be here in the now, because that's the moment. That's the only moment that exists. Let me tell you from experience, But I think I've been rambling on for quite a while. So that's my story in a little nutshell. Like I said before, there's so many other bits and bats within my story life, but I don't want to explain it all right now because, yeah, I'm not quite ready to talk about it. But I will do eventually because I know it's going to help other people. But I love you lots. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please like the video if you like the video, and please subscribe to my channel because it really supports my channel. I hope you have an amazing day. Lots of love. Sending you loads of positive vibes. Mwah.